Biden administration to extend student loan pause. This is good news for those of us who still have student loans, even in our 40s. They are going to pause the loan calls again. This is the third pause, I believe, due to the pandemic. I think it's just time for them to go ahead and cancel it because Navient, I'm not answering your call. I'm not.
Thank you, Ben. And I was just about to say, y'all, they keep pushing back this date so many times, bro. It's been pushed back so much. At this point, just go ahead and cancel it. As you see, it's not affecting this economy in any kind of way. Go ahead and cancel the damn loans, man. Go ahead and cancel.
In fact, I would argue that it would help. Yep. It would help the economy tremendously if you take all of the people who are paying, because I'm not paying y'all, but if you take all the people who are going to pay you and then redirect that money into the economy, people could buy homes, people could buy cars, people could pay for their children's, and some people are trying to pay for their student loans at the same time they're trying to pay their children's student loans. Here's the gag. The number one thing any nation can invest in to make that nation more profitable is education. Yet, we're stuck with $4.2 trillion in student debt. You know why? Because greedy, vulture capitalists needed to find a new way to squeeze a penny out of poor people, and they decided to monetize education. Well, so here we are.
I think
that's why.
It might even be deeper than that, though, Ben. Because if you look at it, so like you said, if the people that's paying the student loans had that money, they would either invest it, put it back into the economy. It would go towards, future generations, things like that. But the reason that they don't want to do that is because you got to have it's separating the classes. Like you can't have the people in the lower class getting a leg up at all, because then they're going to start to catch up, and then the people at the top not going to have as much power. So it's deeper than just, like, yeah, of course they're greedy, but they're greedy and they want to keep the people that's
listen,
low.
Man, I'm never gonna be upset with somebody on the show one up in my leftism. Push it even harder. You're right. It literally goes down to the fact that the number one way to keep people in poverty is to keep them separate from education. Keep them from the why do you think they try to keep enslaved people from reading? Right? It's very simple. The more you learn, the more you understand about the system. One last thing. This empire tells you everything about it. They love to brag on all the stuff they do. There are books by the hundreds about every aspect of this country, of this world. And if you actually read some of them, you would not be the kind of citizen that just sits back and watch what happens. If you read what this country has done and read what this capitalism has done to the world, you do, Dwayne, you become very active, as evidenced by this show. And you're right. They absolutely cannot allow that to happen on scale. They can't.
Yep. That's why trades and stuff are not being pushed to the forefront, because you ain't got to go get $200,000, $300,000 worth of student loan debt to go get a trade that's going to pay you $100,000 a year.
Right. Had I known the things, what I know now, man, I wasted $80,000. I wasted a car note, a damn car, almost a house. Going to school for a degree I'm not even using. Bro, it kind of pisses me off. Is like I spent all this money, and then the nail in the coffin, y'all. Like, and I appreciate Bethune-Cookman University for giving me the opportunity to come back to school, Hell Wildcats, and do what I needed to do. But for the simple fact that I was able to go back and finish for damn free, y'all couldn't have did that 10 years ago when I was still in school. So I had to wait until I'm like grown as hell, and then y'all say, "Hey, why don't you come on back? We're gonna pay for your school, and you can finish and get your degrray." Oh, okay. Better just give me this damn paper because I already paid for it like 5 times over. Just give me this goddamn paper.
Shout out to Bethune-Cookman and every other university that's doing that to us.
Yeah.
Because every university is doing that to us, man.
Exactly.
Gotta love our HBCUs, but they do it too.
Mm-hmm. They really do. And I mean, and shout out to them as well, too, for allowing or starting those programs that are letting people come back, especially the HBCU programs, because I heard Morehouse has a program like that as well, too. So shout out to them for doing that. But I mean, damn, can y'all cancel the student loan debt?
Well, see, James, that's why when I left, remember when I left Cookman, I didn't finish at Cookman. I left Cookman in around 2000. And then I went to a state school, but then I dropped out. I dropped out of college at least twice. And then I dropped out of grad school once. because, well, I was too young at the beginning to really understand what I wanted to focus on, right? I was just blowing money. When I came back and had to pay for it myself, that's when I actually performed well, when I was able to focus in and get what I needed. But no, man, I totally get it. Like, there's so much of our youth that is wasted getting in debt to these universities, when a lot of us at those ages really probably need some real world experiences that don't involve student loan debt.
Because you don't got no clue what you want to do. It's just been ingrained that, like, after high school, I got to go to college. Now I'm in college racking up debt in classes, taking classes that I probably ain't even going to use, and probably change my major 2-3 times. So,
yep.
I was just about to ask everybody that's on this show, how many times did y'all change y'all major?
I just dropped out. That's all.
Look, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. And my mama upstairs, she can come tell me if I'm lying. I think I took my freshman year of college, I took the same classes second semester that I took first semester.
Funny story. You remember Professor Douglas? Do you remember Professor Douglas as the math instructor? So my majors when I went to Bethune-Cookman, they were math, just pure math, and music. I'm still piecing together how those two connect. But Professor Douglas, man, that professor was so strict. And I appreciate it. I'm not saying this is a negative thing, but I was able to basically skip class the entire semester and still come out of Calc 3. I came out of Calc 3 with a passing grade. Like, it was like a B-, right? But Professor Douglas said, I don't care. Dixon, you missed that many classes. He made me come to summer school and take this class all over again. And I'm glad he did, because I learned a whole lot more by actually attending versus what I remembered from other courses. So shout out to Professor Douglas. Is he even still alive? Anybody know?
I'm not even sure. Look, and I remember that, big, because that was that summer that we just were all over Daytona doing everything.
Bro, that was the summer we got ran. Bro, that was the summer that we ran away from them white supremacists in Daytona. We had to hide. That was exactly the summer, bro. And no, shout out to him, because, like, honestly, that's the summer I learned to study. That's the summer I grabbed my book finally. I grabbed that big ass calculus book and I sat down and I realized I had to read the whole damn thing to actually, to get all the nuances that he wanted. I was the guy who could do it without showing my work, and he just wasn't having that. That's what I appreciated about HBCUs. But I think I still owe them money.
And you're right, man. That was when I learned to, like, focus, because just like you, I think around that point, I went to school for my original major was I was going for forensic science. So I had to forgot what my major had to be for forensic science, but it wasn't exactly forensic science. So everything was going good. I love my science classes, my biology classes. I got to microbiology and organic chemistry during band season at 8:00 in the morning, both classes. After that, doing that for a year and a half, I was like, oh yeah, after I failed and I had to go to the principal's office, the dean's office, basically. And they told me, you are on academic probation. I'm like, I am changing my major. Go ahead and drop them grades, please, because this is not for me.
Now, I want to finish the story. I got to finish the story out, because there's some people who might remember how I left Cookman. I did end up losing my Cosby scholarship. I used to be a Bill Cosby scholar. And there's a picture, I might as well say it now. There's a picture of me standing next to Bill Cosby, as tall as he is and my short behind.